Today we're going to be looking at a very glitchy quarterback run scheme that can be very effective in Madden 23. It's also in a formation that has some good passing plays as well. So we're in the Ravens playbook. We're looking at the shotgun spread double flex, and the play we want to look at is the QB wrap. This is one of the more powerful runs in the game that not a lot of people know about. Now this is going to work best with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, not only because he's fast, but because he has the fast break ability. You can do this without the fast break ability, but this just makes it a little bit better. So you're going to fake the handoff to the running back, and then the left tackle is going to pull over. This is why it's called a wrap, because he wraps around. And you can see when Lamar Jackson moves how his X kind of lights up. That's the fast break ability. It allows you to kind of hard plant a little easier. It allows you to change directions very quickly if the holes are there to run through, and we just fumbled right there, unfortunately. Probably better to slide because you know QBs in this game, or you could put your ball carrier on conservative, but usually with design QB runs you don't fumble as much, but usually it's probably just going to be better to slide anyway. But this is a run play that can get you a consistent 5+ yards, you know, a good amount of the time. And once you start mixing other plays in with it, it can become very, very annoying. But you just want to really be mindful of the different holes and openings. Like right here, I see there's a hole, so I kind of cut and I go through it, and the fast break ability activates, which allows me to kind of plant and get through that opening a little easier. Whereas a QB without fast break, you know, it would be a little harder to kind of wiggle around with him. Right there, I should have took that to the outside. That was just a bad cut by me, but you know, it is something you're gonna have pretty good vision to use, because sometimes you got to take it outside, sometimes you want to cut it back up the gap. Now to take this a step further, you can use the inside zone run, which is going to be one of your stock audibles, because now what you're doing is you're actually handing it off to the running back and you're going to the opposite side or more up the middle. But if they're worried about containing the QB, especially with their user defender, and they start shooting out there, that's when you want to hand it off to the running back. And you can see, I mean, this inside zone can go for some big yardage as well, just like pretty much any inside zone in the game. They're very good, consistent runs, and when your opponent is worried about that outside run, well, then you start hitting them with the inside zone, and now they got to worry about two completely separate runs, which are stopped two completely separate ways, right? If the box is open and you see it's wide open, take the inside zone. Don't double think it, you know, or overthink it. If there's not a lot of people in the box audible to an inside zone, again, like right here, you know, this is a 3 deep defense, which you probably wouldn't see, but just for example, if you see it this open, you know, go up the middle with the inside zone. There's no reason to keep it with the QB. Now we're going to get into some passing plays, and really quickly, if you are new to the channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more daily little Madden tips like this, so if you don't want to miss out on them, make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on. It does help the channel out a ton. So then we've got 4 verticals, which is actually pretty solid this year, just off the fact that aggressive catching is good. So, you know, aggressive catches are OP this year. This play is going to attack zone defense well, and if it's one-on-one man on next gen, you know, you can go with the aggressive catches. Right here, this is a cover 2, for example, so you could see cover 2, you attack the outside, cover 3, you would attack the seams. That's kind of how you like to use 4 verticals. If it's one-on-one man like this, you throw the high pass to the outside, click on to go for the aggressive catch. We dropped it there, but more times than not, you're going to get the aggressive catch this year. Usually you want a better receiver there. Like the Ravens just don't have good receivers, unfortunately, so you would want, you know, a taller guy, a guy that's got deep out elite. Even if you're an ultimate team and you can customize your team, you would want to do that. This right here looks like a cover 3, so you'll see cover 3, you attack the seams just like so. Cover 3 seams, cover 2 the outsides. Then, of course, you've got a check down to the running back as well. If it's man, he'll run an in or out route. If it's zone, he'll just kind of spot up. So while this play doesn't look like much, it's actually pretty tough to deal with. The only thing that's going to defend it somewhat well is going to be man. But again, if you have good receivers on the outside, that's when you take advantage of the one-on-one aggressive catch. So if you have one-on-one man, I mean, you can attack aggressive catches pretty much all day. You're usually going to want to go to your best option, but a lot of people like to run man blitzes, which means all of your receiving options are one-on-one. Now, on the Ravens, really, Mark Andrews is like the only one worth doing it with. As you saw in some of the previous clips, the guys on the outside, they're just not good receivers. You know, if they're halfway decent, they'll catch it, but you just always want to be leading it to the outside. So if we're throwing on the right side of the field, we're leading it, you know, to the right. If we're throwing to the left side of the field, we're throwing it to the left. But on this team, I mean, Mark Andrews is really the only guy that can consistently do it, as you can see, but he's doing it every time one-on-one against Jeremy Chin, who is a good defender. So that's what you want to do against one-on-one man. If it's zone, like I said, your seams and your outside or your checking down. You've also got some other plays like FL Cross. This is a decent little play as well, with just a lot of different routes going over the middle. It's going to be pretty good against zone. It's going to be okay against man. If I'm playing man, I'm going to be running the ball more and going for the aggressive catches because, you know, that's what's the most OP. You can see here, you know, if they blitz you, you've got flats open. So, but when you have a formation like this with the good QB run and then just a running back run as well, the passing is going to become a lot easier because people are going to be so worried about the different run plays that you could throw at them that they're going to be committing more people to that, and then you're going to see all these passing lanes open up a ton. You've got the PA read play, which this is going to probably be one of your better go-to man beaters because you have a stock whip route to Andrews. You have a fade on the outside that you can choose to aggressive catch. You've got a crossing route and you've got an S post. But of course, you know, you can change up some of these routes if you want. But we'll just run it stock right now just to kind of show you. You can see this Y route against man end zone is going to be pretty consistent, especially if they're biting on the play action, because you're going to be, you know, using the run so much that they're going to be committed to that more so than the pass. So it's going to open up a lot of things. They might blitz extra people. You might even catch them in a run commit from time to time. I'm not saying that you definitely will, but look, this whip route is so good. It's going to cook man coverage every play. So that's why I say I kind of like to go to this play if I'm expecting man coverage and I want to pass. But again, you know, you could switch it up. You could put the tight end in the slot on a slant if you want to do that, and then maybe put X on a whip. You know, you can kind of change it up. Right here, they're playing a zone, of course, but you know, you can switch it up. Still gonna work pretty well against zone. It's a decent, you know, route combination to have on the field. So you just kind of want to mix it up, but you've got a lot of good plays in here. But the QB wrap is really what you build this scheme around. And then if you want to take it a step further, that's when you start audibling, and that's when things get crazy, because then you can audible in to a gun bunch formation, which we already know gun bunch is always the best formation in the game. So now you can audible into a gun bunch and kind of, you know, do whatever you want to do here. This isn't, you know, necessarily the play I would run, but that's the play that's in the audibles. I would set my different custom audibles, but you can audible in the gun bunch. You can audible into the pistol bunch, which is just a completely different type of bunch. You have some of the similar plays like a verticals play, which is called Seattle in this bunch, but then you've got, you know, your quick passes you could throw in at them on short yardage. You've got your crossing routes. You just got a whole different set of plays, and this is how you really, you know, confuse your opponent and give them different looks. You want to audible around because that's going to make it that much harder for them to stop you. They're worried about stopping an overpowered QB run, and then, you know, you have all these other formations you could jump into, and now they need an entirely different defense to, you know, try to stop some of these sets that have really good passing plays, because the spread formation has some good passing plays, but it's not really the biggest strength of the formation. It's more the run. But then you can audible into these formations that have, you know, some crazier pass plays and just completely confuse your opponent. You can audible into some other stuff as well. You've got Trey. You can even get into like empty base, where now, you know, if you want to really trick them, you can use the QB draw, which can work well in certain situations. I don't know if it's going to work versus this defense, but the QB draw, yeah, I mean, it's a decent run to throw at them, but it's just the Ravens playbook is very unique. You can audible around a lot, but with a play like QB wrap, it really sets this playbook apart, because no other playbook has a QB run that's that good. Now, if you want to know about the best route in Madden 23 that cannot be guarded, make sure you check out this video right here on the screen.